Hello guys and welcome to another sololevelingarise video. I would like to cover a summary of, trying to connect most of the leaks that I found and trying to assume certain things. As we know, leaks might not be 100% accurate of what we will get, but I love leaks, so I would like to react to them. Yeah. So let's start with the chapter clearing. So we will be getting Workshop of Brilliant Light and Battlefield of Chaos. But Workshop of Brilliant Light, I'll talk about it later because it's a mode where you will get new sets of gear, and you have Battlefield of Chaos, which is a mode. Let me see if I can find what Alpha Leaker said. So Battlefield of Chaos is a boss monster. It's a mode where boss monsters are randomly summoned in the Battlefield of Chaos. Defeat the consecutive boss monsters to earn birthday rewards. So apparently it seems to be a mode where you will get a lot of bosses and you will have to, the more you kill, the better rewards you will get. So I guess it's some more like kill until you die kind of mode, and this is like a clear as fast as you can kind of mode. Yeah. Then we will also have, then we will also have the gem and the bonds. So the gem mode was also explained by the leaker. So I think it's here. So yeah, you have the gem feature, which is going to be an equipment to the artifact. So that means that these gems will probably give additional stats. And then you will have gem constellations. I don't know what that means, but that might be like a bonus thing that you get when certain gems are combined. Could be. And you will have 5 gem slots. You'll be able to switch gems or get gem fusion. So it's something builds a room fusion, gem inventory, a new inventory for gems, and then gem chest and the selection shots for legendary gem. Okay. That is for the gem feature, so we will get additional stats from those, I would guess. Bonds, I'm not sure what it means. I didn't see an explanation, but it might be related to relations. But I wasn't sure. I wasn't able to figure out what this info means. Let me know in the comments if you know exactly what it is. But I wasn't able to find information about it. Maybe Alpha League will give more information later. Now, as for new gear, yeah, so you have the gems, which will be what you can consider as new gear because you get stats from it, and you will have the Workshop of Brilliant Light, which will provide you with different sets of gear. As you can see here, as you go through the castle floors, you will be able to obtain rewards. And if you look at the tutorial here, you will see that you have 8 sets. Yeah. So you see here, you have an 8 set effect. What I've seen in here is that, yeah, you have new gear, but if you see the gear here and then you see the image, yeah, you will see that we will be getting these kinds of gears, and these kinds of gears are 8 set effects. Given how we currently have really good effects on 4 sets, I do believe that the 8 set effects will probably be better. So I'm not suggesting people to start saving. I mean, anyways, you would want to be conservative about your resources, especially with gold and upgrading materials. But unfortunately, this comes on in chapter 18, and I'm just going to assume that chapter 18 will be in July, so 1 chapter per month. So yeah, in 3 months maybe we will have like a completely set of gear, assuming it's 1 month per chapter. That's my assumption there, but yeah, you never know. You never know with things, but it's just something to have in mind. Okay, as for Alicia, I will play the video to be reacting on her skill set and also her weapons features. So she's a water elemental. seems to be an attacker based on what I've seen. So the first thing is the weapon overview. So the weapon increases the user's core attack damage by 5%, and when the ice body armor effect activates, increases the user and team members' water damage by 2.5% for 20 seconds. This is an effect that affects Alicia, but also the team members. So they will all get 2.5% water damage buff for 20 seconds. And maxed, it's 10%. So it's a quite decent buff for a team, but there are not many water damage dealers right now, so it would be like a combination with Seo, which is also nice. Okay, so the first one is a 3-stage hit with okay modifiers. And let's see the other attack. So it's a 1594 core attack. That's actually quite high. 1594. Yeah, that's quite high for a core attack. This one is more of a crank control kind of skill. It has an OK modifier as well for a basic skill. And this one triggers the ice body armor. So, okay, so this seems to be like the skill you do before you tag out. So you use her skills, then you use Winter Storm, and then you QTE to the next character. Ice Needle is just a water elemental damage skill with airborne effect. Very nice modifier, 2310%. Next one is the Ice Detonation support skill. So this is the skill that you use with Sung Jin Woo when you select the support characters. This one freezes for 5 seconds. Whoa, 5 seconds is actually quite a long time. I believe this has to be, well, if it stays that way, the skill with the higher interruption period. 5 seconds for a support skill? Yeah, I believe so. This also freezes the target, so, well if it's for 5 seconds, yeah, okay. But also provides the ice body armor. Okay, that's interesting. So Sung Jin Woo could also get this 10% water weapon damage buff. So that's okay. That's beneficial. Then you have the QTE skill. The QTE skill is a 1012.5% damage skill. That's quite decent. It has an airborne effect and it freezes for 3 seconds. That's quite nice as an entry skill. Now the ultimate skill. It's a 3844 and 44.5% damage skill. That's quite high. And it's a combo hit. So in the last hit, it inflicts the airborne effect. Okay, seems to be like a multi-hit kind of skill. And it freezes the target and also it airbornes it at the same time. Okay, that's... I don't know about that one, but okay. This skill applies 5 instances of the frost effect to the user. Okay. So this seems to stack a frost effect on Alicia. Okay, that's interesting. And now the passive, which is what explains what frost does. So when you do the main skills or the QT, well, the basic skills and the QT skills, what happens is that you apply the frost effect, and the frost effect is what it does is it activates a core attack change. The user's core attack changes to Bitter Cold Spear. When the user uses Bitter Cold Spear, it consumes frost instances up to 3 instances at once. So this will consume the frost instances that the ultimate or the basic skills and the QTE skills gives. Okay. Bitter Skull Spear's damage increases by 80% per frost instance that has been consumed. That's actually quite high. So you have the core skill, which has a really high attack modifier, and then you have a damage increase of 200 or up to 240%. But you can only stack 5 times. Okay, so you can only stack, I guess, 5 frost, and then you can use 3 at a time. Okay, so if you use the ultimate, then you have to use the core attack. And after you use the core attack, then you have 2, so you can use one of the basic skills to gain another frost, and then use the core attack again. Okay, that seems like the mechanic of how she's going to work on. And now let's see the dupes. So when the shield is active, increases the user critical hit rate and critical hit damage by 16%. When shield is active. Okay, so I guess when any shield is active. So very good combo with Seo for sure. When Eternal Frost, Winter Storm, or Ice Needle are used, it applies 1 additional frost effect. Okay, so this means that on 2 dupes, she will get 2 frost per basic or QT skill. Okay, that's quite interesting. Increases damage on 3 dupes. She increases damage dealt to frozen targets by 30%. So she has this QT that freezes. She has a basic skill that freezes. She has an ultimate skill that freezes. So she's going to be freezing many times, but it doesn't work quite like that, because the thing is that when you freeze a target, especially a boss, there is a period of time where the boss has this resistance to freeze. So you won't be like freezing constantly. No, it's going to be something that you will freeze, and then you have to combo it up with something. And then that's it. You will have resistance to freeze for a while. Then, yeah, you can't just continuously freeze. So she won't be like a unit that you just keep freezing stuff all the time and it just works. No, it's not gonna work like that. All team members' water damage increases by 5%. Okay, it's actually okay. Good. Just with no condition. Okay, that's nice. And this applies the ice body armor effect to the entire team every 40 seconds. With no condition. Okay, that's actually quite nice. This effect remains active even when the user attacks out. Wow. Okay. Let's see if they talk about the ice body effect that was affected through this effect. Additionally increases water damage by 10%. So on 5 stars, on 5 dupes, she gives an additional 10% water damage, and she also does ice body armor every 40 seconds. So this means that she'll give a 20% with the max weapon, which is a huge damage increase. So she's probably gonna be just sick for any water team. DPS that supports, that's crazy. That's crazy. This is Chae, the most anticipated character in the game. She is a light character. She seems to be an attacker that stacks critical hit rate buffs and critical hit damage buffs. So she's going to be really good at dealing damage, stacking damage capabilities. So, well, the first basic skill is 3-step with quite a high modifier. I missed this, but you can see that it's almost 1,000%. That's quite high for a basic attack. And then you have the core attack, which also has a high modifier effect. The basic skill is light elemental damage skill, and when it lands a critical hit, it applies the Waltz of the Sword effect. So, okay, she seems to be a character you want to build with crit, so that she can crit as soon as possible with her basic skill, and then activate the Waltz of the Sword effect. And when it's activated, just applies the dancer effect. Okay, we will see what the dancer effect is later. High in slashes, the enemy continues with a large sword of light, then finishes the combination with a powerful strike. Okay, this one is a 2664 percentage attack. This is quite decent. Knocks down the target and if it's the target is branded, the damage is increased by 15% and applies the unrecoverable effect. On fights with demons, this is going to help so much because the demons, a lot of time, especially in endgame guys, they just heal so much. They just heal a lot. The support skill is okay, decent damage, 1295%, and when this skill hits, it knocks down the target and it applies the unrecoverable and brand effects. So as a support skill, you can use her as well so that the opponent does not heal. That's nice, and it's a 30-second cooldown skill, and the cooldown of the support skill is 25 seconds. So that means that you can do it eternally. That's really good. This lasts for 30 seconds, but the cooldown of this skill is 25 seconds. So that's perfect. That means that you can you will make them not heal forever. That was the goal. So she is going to be a great support characters for those specific levels. And then the brand effect, which is increasing the critical hit rate and critical hit damage by 12%. Yeah, that's a nice skill to have as well. Then you have the QTE skill. Okay, she does the airborne effect and then the brand effect, and has a pretty high modifier for QTE skill, so that's good. In that when she comes in, she gives the brand effect, which means that you will receive they will receive 12% more critical hit rate and critical hit damage. That's quite decent. Now you have the ultimate skill. So the ultimate skill is going to provide an airborne effect. The modifier is 3,889%. That's quite decent. And then whenever they attack it attacks a branded target, the damage is increased by 30%. Okay, so when you do the QT, you can apply the brand, and you can apply the ultimate as well. How she's played is by stacking. Well, you need critical hit rate so that she can apply the waltz dance and then stack dancer. And whenever dancer hits, the user has a 60% chance to brand the target. If my understanding is right, with 5 instances, which you get in the first two, then you will be able to stack 60% critical hit rate and 60% critical hit damage. Or then it's just a skill that hits, but there's no damage modifier, so probably is something that stacks brands. To me, that's how it's going to work on the first dupe. Then on the second dupe, her own critical hit rate is going to be increased by 10%, and when attacking a branded target, increases the skill damage of the dancer and sword of light by 40%. Okay. Critical hit damage increase, and then depending on the stack effects of the dancer, increases the damage of light of the end by 50%, stacking up to 5 times. What is light of the end? Is that the ultimate skill? This sort of light. This is the dancer. Light strike. Rampant light. Oh, light of the end. And then here, depending on the stack effects of the dancer, increases the damage of the. So if you have 5 the dancer stacks, you will increase the damage of Light of the End by 75%. Okay. Okay, then you have the shadows. So you're going to have two new shadows. One is Tusk. So Tusk is going to be a core attack damage increaser. So he will have this skill there, and you will be using it probably with the new characters. So Beast Bike, Alicia, and Chae will all have strong core attacks, especially Alicia. Alicia will have a really strong core attack, so Tusk is going to be a really good unit for them. And yeah, this is just an attack increase to the shadows. That's about it. It's like similar to blades, so not that great on skills. And then you have the Cerberus shadow. So based on the release that we see here, I believe that with the Kargalgan story arc, Tusk will release, because Kargalgan is who becomes Tusk, yeah. And then you have another shadow the next month. So then you have the new promotion, so we'll have a Grand Marshal. Looks like we will have another promotion after, I believe it's Elite Knight. Yeah, Elite Knight. Right now we need 600 shadows, and we will need more after that promotion, but it's something for the future. Okay, it's good to know that the shadows will have a news even after you've done the other shadows, so that's pretty great. And then the last part, the dimensional gap. So it's a mode where you will select a dimensional gap route through randomly generated stages, create them or clear them, obtain blessings, and defeat the boss. So I played these kinds of modes before on different games. So it's more like you clear a stage and then you get a buff, and then you proceed to the next stage, something like that. And then what you do is you pick the best buffs and you clear the mode easier that way. So that's a good mode, and probably will get nice rewards. So looking forward to it. So that's about it, guys. Thank you again to Alpha Leaker for providing so much information. I really like knowing what's to come. So even if it's not 100% accurate, it's just good to have like an estimation of what's coming. So yeah, that's about it for me. If you guys liked the video, please like and subscribe. And if you have any sort of suggestions, or you guys want any sort of video, just write it in the comments. And yeah, see you in the next video. Bye bye.